What if earning the respect of others didn't come from status, but from something much deeper within you? Have you ever wondered how ancient wisdom could help you lead a calmer, kinder, and more respected life today? And what if the very first step to transforming your life was as simple as your next breath? Buddhism, one of the world's oldest and most profound spiritual traditions, offers timeless guidance on how to live with integrity, kindness, and inner peace. Its teachings are not bound by religion. They're a powerful roadmap for anyone who seeks to grow, connect deeply with others, and earn true respect through authentic living. In this video, we'll uncover 18 life-changing lessons from Buddhist teachings that can inspire you to become a better person, not just in the eyes of others, but in your own heart. These are not lofty ideas meant only for monks in distant monasteries. They are practical, grounded truths that apply to everyday life, whether you're stuck in traffic, dealing with conflict, or simply trying to find calm in a noisy world. Let's begin with the very foundation of it all: mindfulness. This isn't just a buzzword or a quick fix. In Buddhism, mindfulness is the root from which all other virtues grow. It means being truly present, aware of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings without judgment. It's about fully experiencing the moment you're in, without clinging to the past or fearing the future. Through mindfulness, we begin to truly see ourselves. We become less reactive, more compassionate, and more in control of how we respond to life. And that self-awareness, it's the first step to self-respect, which is, in turn, the foundation of earning respect from others. So how do we practice this in real life? Let's break it down. Mindful meditation. By setting aside time each day to sit quietly and observe our thoughts, we train the mind to focus, to calm, and to understand itself. This daily habit builds emotional resilience and clarity. Mindful breathing. Taking a few deep, conscious breaths during the day, even for just 30 seconds, can anchor you in the present. Especially in moments of stress, this simple act can shift your entire mindset. Mindful walking. The next time you walk, whether it's to the kitchen or through a park, notice each step. Feel your feet connect with the ground. Sense the rhythm of your movement. Suddenly, walking becomes a meditative journey. Mindful eating. Instead of rushing through your meals, try savoring each bite. Notice the flavors, textures, and smells. It's a beautiful way to reconnect with your senses and appreciate the present. With consistent practice, mindfulness becomes more than just a technique. It becomes a way of being. You'll find yourself more centered, more aware, and more in control of how you experience life. You'll pause before reacting, speak with greater care, and walk through your days with quiet confidence. As you begin to embrace mindfulness in your daily life, others will sense the calm in your presence, and with it, their respect for you will deepen. But the next step on this path leads us to something even more transformative: compassion. Lesson 2. The power of compassion. Compassion is not just a virtue in Buddhism, it's the very heartbeat of human connection. According to Buddhist teachings, compassion is a powerful force that brings harmony into our relationships and plants the seeds of genuine respect. But what does compassion really mean? At its core, it's recognizing the suffering of others and allowing yourself to be moved by it. It's choosing to respond not with judgment or avoidance, but with kindness, empathy, and a sincere desire to help. In Buddhism, compassion is not just a kind gesture, It is a sacred path toward enlightenment itself. Through the practice of compassion, we don't just earn the respect of others, we begin to truly honor their humanity. So how do we cultivate this in everyday life? Start with self-compassion. Before you can pour kindness into the world, you need to offer it to yourself. Acknowledge your own pain. Speak gently to your inner critic. Treat yourself with the same warmth you'd give a dear friend. This self-kindness lays the foundation for authentic compassion toward others. Step into someone else's shoes. Empathy is more than sympathy. It's the willingness to feel what another feels, to imagine their fears, their hopes, and their invisible struggles. This deeper understanding creates bridges where walls once stood. Practice small acts of kindness. Even the simplest gestures, holding a door, offering a kind word, or helping a neighbor, can leave a lasting impact. These little moments of care accumulate into a presence that others can feel, trust, and admire. Listen with your heart. When someone speaks to you, listen not just with your ears, but with your full attention. Put away distractions. Let them feel heard and understood. Active listening shows profound respect and invites it in return. Buddhism also teaches us that true compassion includes forgiveness. Holding on to old grudges only binds us in suffering. When we release anger and forgive, truly forgive, we offer both the other person and ourselves the chance to be free. A life guided by compassion becomes a magnet for respect. Why? Because people naturally gravitate toward those who care, who listen, and who act with empathy. When you live with compassion, admiration follows, not because you demand it, but because you deserve it. Lesson 3. Embracing impermanence. Now let's explore a teaching that changes how we see everything. Impermanence. Buddhism reminds us that everything in life is in constant motion. Nothing lasts forever, neither joy nor sorrow, success nor struggle. At first, this can feel unsettling, but look closer, and it becomes a beautiful invitation to live more freely, with more peace and grace. When we fully understand impermanence, we begin to let go. Let go of the need to control outcomes. Let go of unhealthy attachments. Let go of fear. Here's how we can bring this powerful truth into daily life. Release attachments. Much of our pain comes from clinging to people, possessions, or expectations. When we accept that all things change, we learn to hold them more lightly, and in that release comes freedom. Welcome change. Change is not your enemy, it's life itself. By welcoming change rather than resisting it, we show flexibility, strength, and wisdom. Others respect those who move through life seasons with grace. Live in the now. Impermanence teaches us that this moment is precious. It won't come again. So why not savor it? Laugh more, love more. Pay attention to what's in front of you, because now is all we ever truly have. When we live with awareness of impermanence, we become grounded and peaceful. We stop chasing, clinging, and fearing, and instead, we start living with clarity and heart. As we embrace impermanence and learn to live more peacefully with change, we begin to release our need for control, and that inner steadiness becomes a quiet source of strength and admiration. From here, we naturally arrive at another profound Buddhist teaching: non-attachment. Lesson 4. The freedom of non-attachment. Closely intertwined with the principle of impermanence, non-attachment is a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy. It teaches us that the root of much of our suffering comes not from external events, but from our attachments and cravings. When we cling tightly to outcomes, possessions, or approval, we place our peace in something outside ourselves. But non-attachment encourages us to do the opposite, to let go, to lighten our emotional load, and to find freedom in the present moment. Practicing non-attachment doesn't mean giving up everything. It means loosening your grip and finding fulfillment within, rather than chasing it through things or recognition. Let's explore how this looks in everyday life. Detach from outcomes. Focus on your actions, not just the results. When you give your best effort and release expectations, you find satisfaction in the doing, not just in what it brings. This shift transforms pressure into peace and earns respect for your grace and resilience. Let go of material clutter. You don't have to live with nothing, but take time to reflect. Which of your possessions truly serve your life, and which are simply weighing you down? The more we simplify, the lighter we feel. And this inner clarity often shines through, commanding quiet admiration. Release the need for approval. True confidence comes when you no longer need others to tell you your worth. When you validate yourself from within, you stop chasing praise and instead radiate a grounded, unshakable presence that naturally draws respect. Practice contentment. In a world obsessed with more, contentment is a revolutionary act. When you can appreciate what you already have, you create a life of peace and gratitude. And that peaceful heart, it's one of the most respected traits a person can possess. By living with non-attachment, you move through life with a sense of ease and authenticity. You're no longer caught in the trap of proving, pleasing, or possessing. And because of that, others are drawn to your presence, steady, open, and quietly powerful. Lesson 5. The wisdom of right speech. What we say and how we say it has a lasting impact on how others perceive us. In Buddhism, right speech is a vital part of the Eightfold Path. It teaches us to speak truthfully, kindly, and purposefully. Why? Because words carry power, and through them, we either build trust or break it. When your words uplift, clarify, and comfort, you become someone others listen to, someone others respect. Here's how to practice right speech in your daily interactions. Be truthful. Honesty is the foundation of respect. When your words consistently reflect truth, people know they can trust you, and trust, once earned, becomes the root of strong relationships. Speak with kindness. Tone matters. Choose words that soothe rather than sting. Even when delivering hard truths, a gentle tone shows maturity, care, and emotional intelligence, all traits that command respect. Be helpful. Don't use your voice to spread gossip or stir division. Instead, speak to support, to guide, or to encourage. Words used with good intention become gifts that leave lasting impressions. Practice. Mindful silence. Sometimes, the most respectful thing you can say is nothing at all. Silence, when chosen with awareness, shows wisdom. It allows space for reflection and signals that you value peace over noise. When we combine non-attachment with right speech, we not only gain control over our desires, but over our words. And in that balance lies true strength. As we've seen, the words we choose and the silence we honor can shape the quality of our relationships. Practicing right speech doesn't just build respect, it builds trust. And now we turn to another timeless virtue that deepens both: patience. Lesson 6. The strength of patience. In the teachings of Buddhism, patience is not just about waiting, it's about how you wait. It's about maintaining calm, compassion, and clarity even when life tests your limits. And in a fast-paced world where instant reactions are the norm, patience becomes a rare and deeply respected quality. People are drawn to those who stay composed when situations become tense. They admire those who can pause instead of panic, who can listen instead of lash out. So, how can we begin to practice this powerful virtue? Accept life's challenges. Life doesn't always unfold the way we hope, but instead of resisting every setback, try viewing challenges as stepping stones for growth. Accept that adversity is part of the journey. It doesn't make you weaker, it makes you wiser. Breathe before you react. In moments of stress or frustration, take a breath, literally. Just one conscious breath can create the space you need to respond with thoughtfulness instead of impulse. This kind of self-control earns quiet admiration. Practice tolerance. Being patient means accepting that others are different from you, and that's okay. Whether it's differing opinions, beliefs, or habits, learning to tolerate and respect those differences helps foster unity and peace. Let go when needed. Sometimes patience is knowing when to walk away. Letting go of people or situations that no longer support your well-being isn't weakness, it's wisdom, and it shows others that you value your growth and mental clarity. Build inner strength. Patience isn't passive. It requires inner resilience. When you develop the strength to endure discomfort with grace, you become a source of inspiration. Others will see your poise and be moved by your quiet strength. Embracing patience doesn't mean avoiding difficulty. It means facing it with courage, calm, and wisdom. And when you embody these qualities, people can't help but respect you. Lesson 7. The power of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most beautiful teachings in Buddhism and one of the most transformative. When we live with gratitude, we shift from chasing more to cherishing what already is. And this quiet appreciation, it radiates peace, humility, and grace. People respect those who are thankful, not because they have everything, but because they value everything. Here are ways to make gratitude a living practice. Keep a gratitude journal. Take a few minutes each day to write down what you're thankful for. These don't have to be grand moments. Even a warm cup of tea, a kind smile, or a peaceful morning can become a reason to feel grateful. Over time, this practice rewires your mind to focus on what's going right. Express your appreciation. Don't keep gratitude locked inside. Tell the people you love how much they mean to you. A simple thank you or kind note can go a long way. When people feel seen and appreciated, respect grows naturally between you. Savor the present. Gratitude thrives in the present moment. Look around, notice the light, the sounds, the small joys. By being fully present, you create space for contentment, and contentment is one of the most respected states of being. Practice mindful consumption. How we consume, whether it's food, resources, or media, reflects our values. Gratitude teaches us to consume mindfully, honoring the effort behind what we receive and minimizing waste. This respect for the world around us translates into respect from others. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into blessings. It turns a simple life into a rich one. And when you live with that quiet joy, people can feel it, and they respect it deeply. Now that we've explored patience and gratitude, two virtues that soften the heart and elevate the spirit, are you ready to discover how ethical living can strengthen your reputation and guide your choices? As you live with gratitude, expressing it through mindfulness, presence, and generosity, you begin to shine with a quiet joy that others instinctively admire. But to truly grow, there's one more internal practice that deepens everything: self-reflection. Lesson 8: The power of self-reflection. Self-reflection is one of the most vital tools in Buddhist practice. It's how we begin to know ourselves, not just on the surface, but deep down. When we take time to examine our thoughts, actions, and intentions, we unlock the door to true personal growth. And here's the truth: people deeply respect those who are willing to look inward, confront their flaws, and work to become better. That level of honesty takes courage. So, how do we make self-reflection a part of our everyday life? Keep a journal. Writing down your thoughts and feelings is like holding up a mirror to your mind. It helps you see patterns, process emotions, and track your progress over time. Whether it's a short note or a full page, this quiet practice builds clarity and insight. Seek honest feedback. Don't be afraid to ask others how they experience you. Sometimes the mirror others hold up shows angles we've missed. Listening with openness and without defensiveness can be one of the fastest paths to transformation. Question your motives. Before you act, pause and ask yourself, why am I really doing this? Are you driven by ego, fear, love? Understanding your why helps align your actions with your deepest values, and that alignment radiates integrity. Learn from mistakes. We all stumble, but the difference between regret and respect lies in how we respond. When you admit your missteps and take steps to grow, you show humility, and others will admire your honesty and strength. Set intentional goals. Know what matters to you. Define your values. Set clear goals that move you toward a purposeful life. When people see your determination and direction, they'll respect your focus and drive. Self-reflection is not always easy. It's a quiet, personal journey. But every time you look inward with honesty and act with intention, you become more grounded, more self-aware, and more respected. Lesson 9: The quiet strength of humility. Next, we arrive at a virtue so subtle, yet so powerful, it often speaks loudest without ever raising its voice: humility. In Buddhism, humility is seen as a sign of true wisdom. It's not about shrinking yourself or hiding your light. Rather, it's about knowing your value while still honoring the value of others. Humble individuals are approachable. They're easy to work with, and they gain respect not by boasting, but by listening, learning, and lifting others. Here's how to bring humility into your daily life. Acknowledge your limits. You're human. You make mistakes. So does everyone else. When you can admit that you don't know everything or that you've gotten something wrong, people don't think less of you. They actually respect you more. Give credit freely. Did someone help you succeed? Say so. Highlighting the strengths and contributions of others doesn't diminish your own. It multiplies the goodwill around you. Listen with genuine interest. When you truly pay attention to someone's perspective, you show them that their voice matters. That kind of presence builds connection and the respect that naturally flows from it. Be of service. Offer your time, your help, or even just a listening ear without expecting anything in return. These small, quiet acts of service reflect a depth of character that people deeply admire. Share your wisdom without pride. If you've learned something valuable, share it humbly. Teach without preaching. Guide without claiming superiority. That humility makes your wisdom even more powerful. True humility isn't about thinking less of yourself. It's about thinking of yourself less and focusing more on how you can uplift those around you. By embracing self-reflection and humility, you become both the student and the teacher, continually learning, yet quietly guiding others by example. Next, let's explore a quality that pulls all the others together: integrity in action. As we saw in the last lesson, humility invites respect, not by minimizing ourselves, but by lifting others up. And when we share what we know with a generous heart, we show that true humility and wisdom go hand in hand. Now, let's look at how this spirit extends into the way we earn a living, through the practice of right livelihood. Lesson 10. The integrity of right livelihood. In Buddhism, the idea of right livelihood is more than just choosing a job. It's about choosing a path that reflects your ethics, your compassion, and your desire to live in harmony with the world around you. The work we do shapes our days, our identity, and our impact on others. So when your career aligns with your values, it doesn't just bring you personal fulfillment. It also earns the trust and admiration of those who see your integrity in action. Let's break down how to live this principle. Choose work that reflects your values. Ask yourself, does my work feel meaningful? Does it reflect what I believe in? When your career is built on ethics and passion, it becomes more than a job. It becomes a reflection of your inner truth. That kind of authenticity is deeply respected. Avoid harmful industries. Right livelihood calls us to be mindful of the ripple effects of our work. Are we supporting harm to people, animals, or the environment? By stepping away from industries that exploit or degrade, we show a conscious commitment to kindness and justice, and others notice. Act ethically in every dealing. Honesty, fairness, accountability. These aren't just business practices, they're spiritual practices too. Whether you're dealing with clients, colleagues, or customers, integrity creates trust, and trust breeds respect. Strive for balance. Work is important, but so is your well-being. Right. Livelihood encourages you to value time with loved ones, rest, and personal health. When you prioritize balance, people admire your wisdom and often aspire to it. Give back through your work. Look for ways to uplift others. Can your work contribute to social good? Can you volunteer your skills, support ethical innovation, or create positive change in your industry? These efforts go beyond profit. They leave a legacy of respect and purpose. Right livelihood is not just about how you earn, but how you live. It is a holistic commitment to live in such a way that your work, your values, and your impact are all in harmony. And when others witness that integrity, their respect grows, not just for what you do, but for who you are. When we step back and look at the full picture, something beautiful emerges. Each lesson, from mindfulness to compassion, from patience to humility, and now to right livelihood, is not separate. They are all threads of the same fabric. It all begins with mindfulness, the grounding awareness that connects us to ourselves and the world. From that awareness, compassion arises naturally as we begin to see and feel the experiences of others. And once we truly understand this interconnectedness, we find it easier to let go of excessive attachment and to live more freely. Each practice feeds the next. Like a ripple across water, one insight deepens another. And with every mindful breath, every kind word, every ethical choice, you become someone who not only grows spiritually, but also earns genuine, lasting respect from the world around you. As we've just explored, when your livelihood aligns with your values, humility becomes second nature, and others sense the quiet integrity behind your actions. But this transformation doesn't stop at work. It weaves into how you speak, how you feel, and how you live. When we truly understand the impermanence of life, we begin to see how futile it is to cling to possessions, achievements, or even the ego. Everything shifts, everything changes, and in this flow of change, respect is earned not by what we own, but by how we live. This awareness brings us to the power of right speech, the way we communicate with the world. Words, once spoken, cannot be taken back. They build bridges or burn them. They inspire or they wound. That's why practicing right speech is more than careful talking. It's conscious living. It requires a moment of pause, a breath, a beat, a reflection before we respond. And this pause, that's where patience enters. Patience is the quiet strength that allows us to communicate with clarity, kindness, and intention. When you're patient, you don't lash out in anger or rush to prove a point. Instead, you allow space for understanding, for compassion, for peace. And that space creates the foundation for respectful relationships. Then comes gratitude, the lens that colors every experience with appreciation. When you practice gratitude, you begin to notice life's subtle gifts. From this awareness, humility naturally arises. You stop taking things for granted and instead feel moved to reflect. What can I give back? How have others shaped my path? This sense of thankfulness leads directly to self-reflection. You start to look inward, not with judgment, but with curiosity. You examine your habits, your choices, your impact, and in doing so, you grow. Self-reflection gives gratitude roots. It turns thankfulness into action. You don't just say thank you, you live your appreciation by becoming a better version of yourself. These two, gratitude and reflection, create a life that's both authentic and humble. A life that others naturally respect because it radiates sincerity. And then, once again, humility circles back to right livelihood. When you work with humility, you don't see your job as a means to status or praise. You see it as a contribution, a part of something larger. Whether you're a teacher, a farmer, a nurse, or a designer, your role becomes a thread in the fabric of society. And when your work aligns with your ethics, you walk your path with dignity, and people notice. A way of living, not just a set of ideas. As you can see, these 10 Buddhist lessons are not separate compartments. They are deeply interconnected principles, forming a holistic way of life, one that brings mindfulness, compassion, patience, and purpose into everything you do. And when you apply them consistently, something remarkable happens. You begin to transform, not by trying to impress others, but by becoming more honest, more awake, more you. The respect you earn, that becomes a natural byproduct, not the destination. So instead of chasing approval, focus on alignment. Live in harmony with your values. Let your words match your heart. Let your choices mirror your ethics. Over time, people will see your consistency, and your character will speak for itself. And that is a rare kind of power. Now that we've seen how aligning with Buddhist teachings brings transformation and inner peace, we must also acknowledge something important. Growth isn't a straight path. Setbacks will happen, but how you respond to them can become one of your greatest strengths. Embracing the ongoing journey of growth. On your path, there will be days when you drift away from these principles, Perhaps you lose patience, speak out of frustration, or fall back into old habits. But don't let these moments dishearten you. Instead, see them for what they truly are: opportunities to learn, to grow, to refine who you are becoming. The ability to recognize your mistakes, take accountability, and return to your path with renewed commitment is deeply respected by others. Why? Because it shows resilience. It shows character. One powerful way to stay grounded in your practice is to surround yourself with a supportive community. Consider joining a group, a meditation circle, or simply connecting with like-minded individuals who also value these teachings. Sharing this journey with others offers more than just encouragement. It provides wisdom, reflection, and a sense of belonging. Sometimes a single conversation or shared insight can shift your entire perspective. Building a support network creates space not only for receiving inspiration, but also for giving it. As you grow, you'll naturally have moments when you become the guide, offering advice, sharing what you've learned, and helping others walk the same path. And as life changes, and it always does, your approach to these teachings may need to adapt. Be open to evolving. Maybe mindfulness looks different for you in a busy season. Maybe gratitude deepens after hardship. That's okay. Adaptability is a strength, one that shows maturity and emotional intelligence. People notice when you're flexible yet grounded, ever evolving yet still rooted in your values. As you begin to witness the benefits these teachings bring, more peace, clarity, purpose, consider gently sharing your wisdom. Whether through mentoring, teaching, or casual conversation, your experiences could inspire someone else to begin their journey too. And remember this: transformation takes time. Be patient with yourself. Growth is not measured in leaps. It's felt in the quiet shifts, in how you respond instead of react, in how you pause before speaking, in how you forgive. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Patience is not passive. It's a quiet reflection of your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. And that kind of commitment, it speaks louder than words. When you live in balance, balancing action and stillness, giving and receiving, striving and surrendering, you radiate a life of harmony. And a harmonious life is naturally admired and respected by others. Because ultimately, these Buddhist teachings are not just ideas to think about. They're tools to live by. They shape the way you treat yourself, how you connect with others, and how you show up in the world. By integrating them into your daily life, you become a quiet inspiration, inviting others, by your example, to begin their own path of growth and self-discovery. Lesson 11: The transformative power of forgiveness. As we near the final insights, there's one more lesson that beautifully complements the 10 teachings we've explored so far: forgiveness. In Buddhism, forgiveness is a sacred act, not just toward others, but toward yourself. It's about releasing the heavy burden of anger, resentment, and guilt so you can move forward with clarity and peace. There are 2 essential sides to this. Self-forgiveness. We all make mistakes. Maybe you've hurt someone. Maybe you've hurt yourself. But holding on to guilt only keeps you trapped in the past. When you forgive yourself, you affirm that you are worthy of growth, of peace, and yes, of respect. Even with your flaws, you are still deserving of compassion. Forgiving others. Forgiveness doesn't mean accepting wrongdoing or pretending the pain didn't happen. It means choosing not to let that pain define you. By letting go of grudges and releasing the emotional grip of the past, you free yourself, and that freedom brings strength. Forgiveness, at its heart, is an act of compassion. And compassion, as you've seen, is one of the most powerful and respected qualities a person can embody. After understanding the healing power of forgiveness, we see how it allows us to move forward, lighter, freer, and more open-hearted. When you forgive with compassion, both toward yourself and others, you cultivate emotional strength that quietly earns the respect of those who witness your growth. Lesson 12: The Strength of Contentment. Closely connected to gratitude, contentment is a core lesson in Buddhism that invites us to embrace simplicity and find joy in the present moment. In a world constantly urging us to want more, do more, and be more, contentment offers something radical: the peace of enough. It's about appreciating what you already have and where you are right now, rather than constantly chasing the next thing. And those who live this way, calm, grateful, and grounded, are often admired for their quiet confidence and inner stability. Here's how to begin living with contentment. Simplify your life. Clear away what you don't need, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Let go of excess possessions, unnecessary stress, or toxic thoughts. A simpler life often leads to a more joyful one. Accept the present. Instead of always striving for what's next, practice being where you are. Acknowledge your current chapter, its gifts, its struggles, its lessons. When you fully inhabit the now, you stop resisting life and start living it. Nurture positive relationships. Contentment is magnified by meaningful connections. Choose relationships that bring peace, support, and authenticity. Let go of those that drain or diminish your spirit. Practice mindfulness daily. As we've explored before, mindfulness is the gateway to contentment. When you're present, you notice the small joys, the breeze, a smile, the taste of your tea. And those small joys, they're life itself. When you embody contentment, people sense your serenity. You become someone who doesn't need to prove anything, someone who radiates calm regardless of external success. And that quiet strength, it earns deep respect. Lesson 13: The Beauty of Generosity. Flowing naturally from contentment and compassion comes one of the most respected qualities of all: generosity. In Buddhism, generosity, dana, is more than an act. It's a mindset, a way of living that centers on giving freely from the heart without expecting anything in return. Generosity doesn't require wealth, it requires willingness. A kind gesture, a shared resource, a few moments of your time, these can have profound impact. Here's how to cultivate generosity in your daily life. Offer kindness spontaneously. Hold the door open. Offer your seat. Lend an ear. Help someone who's struggling. These simple acts may seem small, but they leave a big imprint. Share your resources. Whether it's your knowledge, skills, food, or finances, be open-handed. When you share what you have, you create connection, community, and hope. Volunteer your time. Find causes that align with your values. Whether it's teaching, helping at shelters, or supporting the environment, your time is one of the most valuable gifts you can give. Embrace giving as a way of life. True generosity isn't occasional. It's woven into who you are. It's how you walk through the world. When giving becomes part of your character, others see it and deeply respect it. Generosity strengthens relationships, enhances your well-being, and creates a ripple effect that touches far beyond you. When you live a life of giving, you become a source of light in the lives of others, and that radiance naturally commands admiration. With generosity flowing from the heart and contentment rooted in gratitude, we now reach a powerful state that ties all these virtues together, a state of deep stability, equanimity. Lesson 14: The Grace of Equanimity. Equanimity is one of Buddhism's most profound teachings. It complements patience and impermanence by guiding us to maintain emotional and mental balance, even in the midst of chaos. It's the quiet strength that helps us stand still when the winds of life blow hardest. Think of equanimity as the still surface of a pond. No matter how many ripples come and go, the water eventually returns to calm. That same calm can exist in your heart when you learn to let go of control, embrace uncertainty, and trust in your inner strength. To begin cultivating equanimity, try the following. Develop a balanced mind. Through meditation, regular meditation allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them. You begin to see them rise and fall, just like waves. But you are not the wave, you are the ocean beneath it. Accept life's unpredictability. Life doesn't always follow our plans, and that's okay. When you truly accept that uncertainty is part of life's design, you free yourself from resistance. You move with the flow instead of fighting it. Stay grounded. During challenges, when faced with difficulty, strive to hold steady. Respond rather than react. This ability to remain composed under pressure earns the quiet respect of others who see your grace and resilience shining through. Release judgments. Practice impartiality. See others not through the lens of judgment, but with openness and fairness. When you treat people with dignity, regardless of their behavior, you embody emotional maturity that few can ignore. Equanimity is not indifference. It's not about shutting down feelings. It's about holding them with awareness, without being ruled by them. And when others see your capacity to remain calm and kind in any situation, their admiration is genuine. Lesson 15: The Journey to Inner Peace. At the heart of every Buddhist teaching is the timeless pursuit of inner peace. This isn't just a final lesson, it's the thread that weaves through them all. Mindfulness, compassion, non-attachment, contentment, forgiveness, and equanimity, they all point here. To that quiet, centered space within you, untouched by the noise of the world. But inner peace is not a destination. It's a practice, a way of being. Here's how you can begin nurturing it in your daily life. Embrace silence and solitude. Spend intentional time alone, in quiet, without distraction. Whether it's through meditation, walking in nature, or simply sitting in stillness, these moments reconnect you to your inner self. Let go of control. Many things in life are beyond your control. Rather than trying to force outcomes, focus on how you respond. This shift relieves stress and restores harmony. Practice forgiveness and acceptance. Stop clinging to past hurts. Let go of grievances and accept what is. When you release the weight of what cannot be changed, peace has room to enter. Live authentically. Be true to yourself. Align your actions with your values. Speak your truth with kindness. When you live in harmony with who you really are, your life becomes more peaceful, and people feel that authenticity. Inner peace isn't just for your benefit. It radiates outward. It shapes your presence, softens your interactions, and transforms your relationships. A peaceful person becomes a mirror, reflecting back calm, wisdom and compassion to everyone around them. Integration, living the teachings, earning respect. As we bring together the final teachings, forgiveness, contentment, generosity, equanimity, and inner peace, a clear picture emerges. These are not separate ideas. They form a unified path, one that transforms not only your inner world, but also the way others experience you. And the respect you earn? It's no longer something you chase. It becomes a natural result of living with integrity, compassion, and mindfulness. So, as you walk forward on your journey of self-discovery, remember, respect is not the goal. It's the reflection. The true goal is to live fully, honestly, and with deep presence, to grow, to heal, to inspire. And in doing so, you'll not only earn the respect of others, you'll come to deeply respect yourself. As your journey unfolds, your consistent practice of these teachings becomes more than personal growth. It becomes a quiet beacon of positive change, touching everyone around you. And now, we arrive at one of the most practical and impactful applications of Buddhist wisdom: mindful consumption. Lesson 16: Mindful consumption. In a world driven by constant desire and excess, the Buddhist path offers a refreshing alternative: intentional, ethical, and mindful living. This teaching closely aligns with the principles of non-attachment and gratitude, reminding us that our choices matter not only for ourselves, but for the planet and future generations. Mindful consumption isn't about rejecting modern life, it's about moving through it with awareness. Here's how you can start. Evaluate your true needs. Take a moment to reflect. Do I need this, or do I simply want it? This small act of discernment helps you reduce excess, make more intentional purchases, and cultivate a respectful relationship with the material world. Support ethical brands. The way companies operate reflects values. When you choose to support businesses that prioritize sustainability, fair labor, and eco-conscious practices, your buying decisions become a form of silent activism. And that commitment earns the quiet respect of those who notice your integrity. Reduce waste, reuse, recycle, refuse single-use items whenever possible. These daily habits reflect a deeper respect for the earth and show your mindfulness in action. Be intentional with media. What you watch, read, and listen to also counts. Choose content that uplifts, educates, or inspires, rather than numbs or distorts. Your discernment in media shapes your mind, and those around you will respect your clarity and emotional maturity. By weaving mindful consumption into your lifestyle, you contribute to a more conscious and compassionate world, and those who witness your thoughtful approach will admire your example. Lesson 17: The power of kindness. Kindness is a universal language. It crosses every cultural and spiritual boundary, and in Buddhism, it's seen as the seed of compassion and harmony. Practiced with sincerity, kindness becomes a force that inspires trust, connection, and deep respect. To bring more kindness into your life, practice random acts of kindness. Hold the door, offer a smile, send a kind message. These small actions may seem simple, but their ripple effect is profound. Cultivate a compassionate heart. Approach others with empathy. Try to understand their experience. Let your concern for their well-being guide your interactions. Be a supportive friend. Be there, not just when it's convenient, but when someone needs you most. The kindness you offer at difficult moments leaves lasting impressions. Extend kindness to all beings. From people to animals to the planet, treat all forms of life with gentleness and care. This commitment to non-harm reflects the deepest form of compassion and speaks volumes about your character. When kindness becomes your way of life, you create waves of positivity wherever you go. And it's not just your actions that earn respect, it's the warmth and sincerity you bring into the world. Lesson 18: Self-compassion. To close this journey, we return to the heart of it all, self-compassion. So often, we extend kindness to others, but forget to offer it inward. Self-compassion is not self-indulgence. It is emotional intelligence. It is the ability to treat yourself with the same care you would offer a dear friend. Here's how to practice. Be mindful of self-talk. What words do you speak to yourself when you stumble? Replace harsh criticism with gentle understanding. Speak to yourself with patience and kindness. It's a powerful act of self-respect. Embrace imperfection. You're human. You will make mistakes. Embrace them as part of your growth, not as proof of failure. Others will admire your ability to own your journey without shame. Prioritize self-care, meditation, movement, good sleep, healthy boundaries. These are not luxuries. They're acts of self-love. When you show that you value your well-being, others will too. Forgive yourself. Let go of the weight of regret. You are allowed to grow beyond your past. Self-forgiveness is one of the strongest, most respectful things you can do for yourself and for those watching your transformation. Thank you for joining us on this inspiring journey with Buddhism Seeds. We hope these 18 timeless lessons have brought insight, peace, and encouragement to your day and your life. If you found value in this video, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with those who might benefit from these teachings. And if any part of this message spoke to your heart, feel free to leave a comment below. We'd love to hear what resonated most with you. Together, let's continue planting seeds of mindfulness, compassion, and peace. One moment at a time. Until next time, stay inspired, stay kind, and keep walking the path.